hello. How are
How you
you?
doing?
Good. You look like got a party going on over there.
A party? No, it's just the lights that I got, they go with
Mhm.
the voices. So hello, hello, hello.
Oh, that's so cool. Where
Yeah.
did you get that?
Walmart. Like $13.
I need to get one of those. We need some lights back here, y'all. We need some
No,
lights
yeah, for sure.
here. Well, it's good. Thank you for joining me today. So, y'all, it's your girl Cindy Dean, is staying with the gang, and I got Classickaylen here.
Hey.
So, go ahead and let everybody know what it is that you do.
So my name is Classickaylen. I'm from St. Petersburg, Florida, the Tampa Bay area. If you're not familiar, I write music. I started writing music in 11th grade since like 2011. I'm a graphic artist. I got into that in high school. So I mean, I make cover art. I do business cards. That's my day job. So
That's good. Everyone
that's
definitely.
a real day job.
So, what made you want to start doing music?
What made me want to start doing music? Honestly, just I think just the feeling of the release. It was like a release, you
Yeah,
know. Those when you talk those words, it's like a release in a way. I
yeah,
feel it's empowering. I felt so great. Then just hearing my friends' feedback, good or bad, I was like, okay, they're listening. It was like that ear, just having that ear. It
hmm
was that's really just kept me in tune with it for sure.
yeah, definitely. So, when did you actually start doing music? Was it like, were you younger, or did you wait until you were a little bit older?
So I remember being like writing my first rap in like 2009. So since 2009, but I've always had music with me though. I would get albums for my birthday. I
Hmm.
just never really wrote music. Always in tune with it though. Always.
Because it's like therapy, you know. It's,
Mm,
it's like it's always a form of therapy, especially when you're going through things. Like you said, you can release all of what's going on.
mm,
Hey, what's up, guys? I see you guys tuning in and waving. Hey, hey, hey! Thank you guys
mm.
so much for tuning in.
It's
So,
love.
what is one of the? I always ask people this. What artists inspire you the most when it comes to your music?
What artist inspires me the most? Honestly, I really like music Soul Child. I know
Yeah,
not
man.
super like it's not super rap, but it's like
Yeah.
songwriting skills. I don't know him and Jeremiah. I think Jeremiah is very versatile. Writes a lot of music. Everything: supermarket music, club music. Everything.
Yeah.
So I
Have,
like.
has Music Soul Child came out with anything new? He didn't like kind of, did what he did and kind
I,
of just seen a little.
I feel as though he's more of a ghostwriter.
Yes,
You know?
I definitely believe that.
I feel like when you're that good, when you're that great, everybody wants a piece of you. And I think maybe that's where he's at with it. I don't know. But I haven't really looked into it, but
Yeah.
possibly.
Yeah, I totally agree. So with graphic designing, when did you start doing that? Did you go to, is that what you went to school for? So you said you went to that.
So, yeah, so I got into graphic design ninth grade year at my high school orientation. I had a
Okay.
cool shirt on. It was a skull that had like a bandana on with like some fucking sunbeams coming out with like peace signs, and I don't know, it was just wicked. And the
Yeah.
teacher came up to me and she was like, "Oh, would you like to learn how to make these?" And I was like, "Definitely." So that's when I got into graphic design, ninth grade. And my high school was an academy, so I was there 4 years, and I just followed through with it.
That's good. Yeah, I've seen some of your artwork. It's a really
Nice,
dope. I've seen some of
nice.
the stuff you took. Like, instead of doing graphic design, do you also do like personal paintings and drawings for people as well, or just
So,
like for yourself?
I mean, as an artist, I always want to excel. So
Hmm.
like this previous year, I've tried to get more in tune with realism. So yeah, I don't do that now, but I want to get better with realism because I feel as though that's something hard to conquer. You know what I mean?
So,
So
to people, what that is, because I know
so
a lot
realism.
of people may not know what realism is. So, kind of.
Okay, so that's more like portrait style artwork. So let's say like a tattoo of your mother, a tattoo of
Okay.
like of a park, like
Yeah.
landscape, just realism that looks very realistic. No abstract art, like very real. So
Okay.
real life.
Have you thought about like being a tattoo artist, or are you just like, nah, that ain't me?
Yeah, like when I first started drawing, I can show you. Hey, bro, will you give me my book bag so I can show them some drawings? When
Yeah,
I
bring
first
it
started
back.
drawing, what you call it? When I first started drawing, they would tell me that it looked like flash art. And flash art is when you go to the, you go to the tattoo parlors and they have the booklets. And you're like, oh, I want this, this, that. So, yeah, I thought about it, but personally, doing it, I don't feel comfortable doing it because I don't want to ruin anybody's skin. Or like,
Yeah.
I just, you can have the art,
A lot.
totally.
Yeah, I think yeah, I used to draw in school and I used to love taking art classes and I always thought like when people get I used because at one point I used to be terrified to get tattoos because I don't like needles, y'all. Like it's like I only got two, so
Same.
like that could tell you like I don't really like needles. So for people who be like all inked up and stuff, like I don't know how they do it because I'd be like, yo, it's like I don't like a lot of people are opposite. A lot of people don't like the shading. I don't have a problem with the shading. It's the outlining. That is
Yeah.
worst for
Yeah.
me because that like hurts
Uh
so bad.
huh.
I don't know. And I like my first tattoo, I got it in the most, like it's right here on my chest. I got it in the most. They're like, how get it there and on your collarbone? I'm like, I don't know. Like I
Yeah.
don't know.
What does it
But
say? What
oh,
is it?
right here it says your back.
Yeah. Sorry about that. My iPad died, so
Oh
it's
no.
all love. I appreciate you hanging out with us, though.
Yeah, I should be back. I was like, y'all know how connection issues be. I was like, she'll be back.
Yeah, for sure. But so you got a music tattoo? That's what that is?
Yes, so it's treble clef, piano keys, and it says music equals life. So the goal is to have like you know the music, the bar, like the music actual bar. I wanted to wrap around my arm and to connect with this. I have a treble clef down here.
Oh
So
wow.
that is the goal, guys, but we'll see because I'm a little scared of cat.
I got faith.
So we gonna see. We gonna see. So that's really cool. So have you thought about like doing murals and stuff like on buildings?
Oh, for sure. So like I've been in New York City for the past 5 years. I was
Oh,
born and raised in St. Pete. So I've been in New York City, trying to get exposure, meet new people,
mhm.
network, really just really just expand my mind. And I feel like I've learned a lot out there, more about the
Yeah.
hustle, so now I'm back in my city. I'm gonna be moving back now, next month. And I plan to hopefully have a mural out here one day. Because they have
That
an art district out here. So yeah, I'm working towards that. I definitely want to have a mural for sure. In my city for sure.
that's really dope. I could who can do though because that takes a lot of patience.
Oh
Some
yeah.
people are like definitely artists have really good patience, and I'm such a too. So if I was an artist, I'd be like, we gotta do this again. Paint it white. We gotta start over.
Yeah,
Like it's because I have so many art friends. Like I cannot wait till you guys start doing art galleries again because I love going to different
yeah.
places and seeing the one specific art gallery. I think I mentioned this last time, but it was a lot of the art was very political. It was
Okay.
so like some of it like when you look at it you were like oh my gosh like some of it you had to really read because of the words that so you could understand what the picture was about but
Yeah, love it.
yeah, I kind of like art like that too. That's like when it's very political and it talks about, you know, the pain. Like some of it had to do with like Trump, some of it had to do with like women who were trapped, you know, sex trafficking, you know, who were abused in that manner. Like it was crazy. But I see you also you're very big activism too.
Oh
So
yeah, for sure. Thank
definitely
you.
talk about that because you do that a lot. I see you do that a lot.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So like recently, of course, like in the previous months, I mean, I
Mhm.
feel like as though if you're not having an awakening, you're really sleeping. You know what I'm saying? And like I don't know, like I just got out of a relationship a month ago, and like in that relationship, she studies what was it called sociology. So she
Oh,
taught me a lot. I'm not gonna lie, I will give credit when it's due, and she taught me a lot
yeah,
about a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? About
yeah.
like redlining, about just
Hmm.
systemic injustices just in general, not even just one, reform, police reform, all that stuff, like all that prison reform, all that stuff. Like we used to go to a lot of museums based around things that you were stating, because I think, to me personally, I want to study art that reflects life, and I think art reflects the world. The world reflects art, vice versa type thing. So we would go to museums that were specifically for certain things. So, for instance, we went to the Museum of Broken Windows, it was called, and it was about the policing in New York City and how they pretty much how they would pinpoint black and brown communities and set up the MTA police and catch us jumping when really we don't have the money. We really don't have the money though.
Right.
So it's unfortunate because those people, they don't understand people coming from other states that have not. It costs you $100 and something. Okay, they give you a ticket, and now you have to pay on top of, forget the $275, right? Because you already jumped it. Now you have to go to court and pay $100 and something on top of something that you already didn't have. You didn't have $275. That doesn't make sense to me. That makes me feel as though you want the poor to stay poor. You know what I'm saying? So like, it was a lot of statistics and stuff like that, and I just love studying things like that, and it just really intrigues my mind because I feel as though that's true history. You can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's real history. Those are things that are going on amongst us that we overlook. You know what I'm saying? We're just like, oh, that, that's the, but really look around. There's so much injustice around us. Like, that's why after that relationship, I am going to be more of an activist because I feel as though I do have a voice. And like, not to say I didn't before. I knew I had a voice. It's just that I wasn't using it to the fullest potential, bro. So it's like, you have to find your purpose, bro, and play your part. If you're smart in on a certain topic, share with others. You know what I'm saying? Share with others. Be like, oh, I know, and you don't. We can't play those games no more. Like, life is not work like that no more. Like, don't be sitting around a bunch of stupid people. You feel me? Like, don't do that. Like, don't do that.
I totally agree. I always tell people, like, you definitely don't know everything, and there's always can always teach you something. You always constantly want to be a student. Sure. When it comes to injustice, learning about things that are political, because I remember I used to, like, I hate politics. I still hate politics to this day because it's all a money game when you really think about it. It's really all
greed.
And I think it's very important to learn the different things that go on, because especially now with the things like that happened to Vanessa, the soldier. When you think about things like that, because this is, a lot of people aren't familiar with military, especially if you're not in that lifestyle, you don't have any family members who are in the military, you're not going to be too, keen, because a lot of people are like, how did this happen? And in my brain, I'm like, how do you not know this happens? Because what people don't understand, number one, when you join any type of military, you are no longer a U.S. citizen. You're right. You don't have any. When I say you don't have any, you belong to the government.
Belong to them.
Yes, you belong to them. Like, when they tell you it's time to go to another country, it's time to go. Ain't no, I gotta.
1, 2, 3, 4 left.
No, like, they are completely. They have control over you. Have U.S. rights, and so when we think about cases like, and Vanessa's not the only case. That's the crazy part.
No.
People are really surprised because hers is just more public. So when you think about cases like her, you got other cases of all kinds of women who have been raped, who have been abused, who have been killed, beaten, and it's so easy. People don't understand. It's so easy for a place like the military to cover things like that up because it's a government-based thing. So yeah. So my friend Ashley, she's a former Navy, so she definitely understands the things that we're talking about. Because, like, a lot of people, when you're not in the military, people just think you're living the life because they're looking from the outside in. They see you in big houses, you got big, nice cars and things like that. But I'm like, If only y'all knew, just because I've only been, a lot of people have told me stories I've had, you know, from Navy and Army side, and that's
Mm-hmm.
only a fraction of what they go through. Like one of my best friends, he used to be a chaplain, which is one of the easiest jobs you could do in the Army. So sorry guys. So it's one of the easiest jobs you could kind of do in the Army, because the chaplain assistant, like you're and but it's kind of, mentally it's the hardest, because you're doing funerals, you know, when there are, like, he told me one of the craziest stories, like one soldier literally put his wife in a headlock and shot himself, because you guys don't think of the, like, they, like, mentally it's
They
more
really
than PTSD. Y'all got to understand what these
they
soldiers are
see
going through.
what
It's it and yes,
whoa.
it gets covered up so much. It does. A lot of stuff, we think a lot of stuff gets covered up, like out here in the regular world. You'll be surprised with, like, because people will tell you, oh, we're going to war because this country has weapons or attacking us, when honestly that country probably ain't nothing even going on.
It's to get
And
us to look this way when we're
if
supposed to be
you
looking that way.
if you look at history, a lot of us, as far as history is concerned, if you really pay attention to history, a lot of settlers or kings or queens or army bases go to other places to conquer, to have control. Like
Mm-hmm.
America, United States is nothing but big bullies, y'all. We are some of us, certain
Bullies is
countries,
the best word.
yeah, it's crazy. Like, so things like, you know, we're definitely wanting justice for things like Vanessa, but I think a lot of people, I'm not saying, the word I'm not trying to use is realistic, because some things you do have to be realistic about, because when it comes to the military, you guys, they have a whole another, their court system is completely different than our court system.
Which is weird.
It is.
That's
It is
the only separation pretty much between government and state probably is the military look like those laws
yeah.
right there, man.
When you get in trouble in the military, that's worse than going to jail. When you go to military jail, that is like, if you think about, it ain't death row, but if I had to compare it, it's kind of like going on death row, except you're not dying. It's just the seriousness of military jail is like, it's so different. So that's why when it comes to that Vanessa case, a lot, I'm angry too. She definitely
Hold up.
deserves, but I am realistic that their policies and how they handle things, it's not, and I'm not saying it's right, but it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while. And if you are a military person and you are sworn an oath to protect your soldiers, and your soldiers end up raped, and that's not what the military stands for, at least that's supposed to stand for. That's not the military my uncle fought in. My uncle was Army Command Sergeant Major, made it to the highest level. Like, and it's really sad. More than ever, it's, I'm not gonna bash guys, but women, they we are not, like, they treat us so bad, y'all don't even understand. And it's not even black or white, we're talking about women in general. Women in general, especially women in the military, because you have no rights, they feel like you have no say so in anything, so they feel like they can do whatever they want to do to you. So it's really sad. I definitely, the way I use my voice is, that's why I have this platform, so I could definitely use my voice more, bring awareness, speak out more, because, you know, we're, being in America, I do say we are blessed, because y'all don't understand what other countries are going through. Like, imagine living in another country that, some countries don't even have running water. It is 2020 and they still don't have running water.
Running water.
How,
It's
say,
unacceptable.
how?
To me, that's unacceptable. That's crazy.
With
That's
as
wicked.
advanced as we are, you can't provide running water. to, and it all boils down to control
for all in the
and
world.
that's what I'm saying, for just the simple necessities as running water. And Flint, here in the United States, they water still contaminated.
Exactly.
It's still
Don't nobody want to
contaminated.
talk about the U.S., bro. This honestly, since Trump's been in office, there's been so much stuff that has happened, like within the U.S. So, like,
Yeah.
you can't say there was one catalyst, because there has been very many catalysts talking about women's rights. Let's just start there, right? Boom. You were talking about.
Sorry,
Hello.
I had to add you back in because once
You
we
good?
start, then I always got to add you. So continue what you were saying about the women, the rights, and
Oh yeah. So like yeah, there's just been a lot of catalysts since Trump's been in office. Just like with women's rights, gun control. What was the other one I was saying? Like, Puerto Rico. I'm Puerto Rican, so when Puerto Rico had that thing going on, the Hurricane Maria with FEMA, all that weird stuff that was going on. I can't get into details. I mean, like depth with the stuff, because I feel as though it's deep. You know what I mean, like the way they got that stuff set up, that shit's deep, bro. Like, there's some funny shit going on. You know what I mean? So like, and then we also have Flint, Michigan. We also had the wildfires in California. And like I was saying before it cut off, like, I don't think we can't stop natural disasters, right? But we can't help. We can't help.
right,
We can help. Clean water. We do
right.
have resources to create these things for these people. We have to be reminded are us, because we could live in Flint. We could live in California. You know what I'm saying? We could live all these places. You know what I'm saying? It's the fact those people, whatever they want to call themselves, whatever, they're here and we're there. It would never be, you know what I mean? They don't live on the street with us. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't go to the same grocery
Yeah.
store. They don't. They don't. They don't. You know what I mean? So they understand, but they don't really feel it. They just don't really feel it, because it's as though they don't live on this land. You know what I'm saying? They live above the lake. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's I was talking to my friend on the phone, and I was talking to my mom too, because one thing I was trying to grasp the concept, y'all. I really was, because I'm a person who tries to understand why people would do certain things, like bad things, because I was really like some of these political people who are sex trafficking young girls and who are pedophiles, because I'm trying to understand
Blow their heads off.
how you are, like, what in your brain says, oh my gosh, this young girl is beautiful, I have to touch, like, you should be disgusted because that's a child. Like, what in your brain makes you think that is good, or that makes you feel good? And and it's really all about power. It's not even about
It's
feeling good. It's not about them getting anything. It's about them physically just able to have power, whether if it's over a child, or they feel that's why a lot of them do that to children, because they know grown women fight. Most of us fight back. Like, we don't play that. So they go to children who don't. Do y'all know? I was watching. This was on. Y'all know PBS and stuff. Showing it wasn't on PBS. Don't quote me on this. It was not on PBS, y'all, but it was on a channel like it. And they were talking about how Europeans go to places like Africa, some islands in Africa, where they purposely will go to buy and purchase and sex traffic and do those things. And some of the girls that are like teenagers, some of them willingly do it for money, because it's some area, they live in poor areas. So they do it to support their families. Like, yeah, and then they actually have a shelter where they're trying to save these girls. And the lady was telling the guy who was filming and doing the documentary, the youngest person that ever came through was like 3, guys. 3 years old. That is a baby.
That's wicked. What? That's crazy to take, yo.
Talking about these girls are getting sodomized, crazy, raped. And these are babies. Like, it makes, like, it enrages you so much to where now those type of people need the death penalty, because that is somebody's child. it just makes me wonder, how would you feel if somebody, because some of them have children, how would you feel if somebody did this to your child? And then
They
they want
don't
to act
feel. That's
like, ever do this to my child. Oh, you a fool if you think that. Because you have politicians that are buddy with other politicians. They probably don't even know that they looking at
disgusting.
like that.
Disgusting.
And it's just like, ain't enough power in the world. A lot of them
No.
think like they're like,
Fuck power.
and like some stuff is really biblical as well. Like I'm telling y'all, watch The Family.
Dumb.
Watch that documentary. Watch that documentary. That documentary discusses how.
What is it called?
The Family.
I'll
It's
watch
called
it tonight.
The
What's it
Family.
called?
Some The Family.
Okay.
Yeah, it pretty much you have to watch it, but it gives you the concept as if people are born and destined to be in power. For example, take King David, for example. King David, when he became king at such a young age because God chose him to be king. But let's not forget, King David he slept with someone else's wife, killed their husband. He wasn't a good person all his life. And then we wonder, and then the question is, why do you think God would choose someone like King David? Because that's why you gotta, and it's how people interpret. That's why I said it's really dangerous.
It's definitely interpretation.
Yes, it is, and it can be dangerous because some things are not interpreted correctly, especially people who feel like they're chosen. Like these people feel like they were chosen to be in power. They were chosen by God to do this. They were like, and people will base their laws. They will base, like I said, there is a law trying to get passed in another country where people can get arrested for just being gay. All because
That's crazy.
of their biblical belief. But you got like, I recommend everyone to watch that documentary. It is
Check it out.
whew, it makes you
I love
think
stuff like
a lot.
that.
Yeah, it makes you think a lot about because I am a firm believer in God, but it also makes you think about a lot about how people use Christianity. They will use
Religion in general.
Christianity as a base, you know what I'm saying? To try to, like, you know how much stuff is probably locked up in the Vatican? Have y'all ever even thought about that?
You said Vatican and that shit said bye-bye.
That's, you know, when you're talking about something important,
You better stop that.
IG be hating and want to cut you off.
This that God talk. I can hear you.
You can? Good.
Yeah, much better.
I was like, see, when you start talking real stuff, they don't want the real stuff to come out. But I tell people, don't take my word for it. Don't take her word for it. All of this stuff can be researched. It's not nothing new.
Research.
No one knows. But
What up?
yeah, let's just say, like, don't ever, like, just speak everything you believe in. Make things aware. Because one thing that I am at peace with is I know that the only person that can take down government and destroy the government is God. Because we are only flesh and we are only human. So, but that doesn't mean to stop fighting and stop standing for what you believe in. That doesn't mean to stop doing that. Definitely keep doing it because God voice and gives us a voice to use it. But yeah, IG, what I want to say, you cut me off all you want to.
That's how they are. Once you start talking about certain things, it's
start
connected. It's just
no,
a lot of things are connected. It's just certain.
That happens with my friend. Like every time she talks about nonsense when she goes Facebook Live, she be cool. But when she posts other stuff, then she be in Facebook jail for like 10 days. I be like, really?
Mm-hmm.
Just because ask her whether it's about music, graphic designing. She does graphic design. She makes business cards, logo. So if y'all need some biggest, The Watchers, is that a documentary too? I ain't never oh, be watching. Yeah, yeah, people be
Be
watching.
watching.